Doomsday versus SCP-682. Two of the most broken, most indestructible, most unkillable monsters in all of fiction are going at it. But in a fight like this, where neither side can truly ever die, well, who's ultimately coming out on top? And really, is it even close? Let's get into it. Doomsday is essentially the living embodiment of death. Darkseid himself called him death personified. And with accolades like that, you gotta be impressive. And Doomsday really is. Superman said that Doomsday could rip the planet in half if he really wanted to. And man, he's sent Supergirl flying. He's knocked around Wonder Woman. He's overpowered both Orion and Martian Manhunter. John said that he'd never been hit as hard as he's been hit by Doomsday. He's even taken down the whole Justice League before. I mean, Doomsday has trounced the League all by himself. And there have been all his fights against Superman. He's punched Superman like he's never been hit before. He can hit harder than anybody else Superman has fought. And Doomsday just continues to get stronger and stronger as they fight. I mean, there was a reason why they created this guy back in the 90s in the comics. It was literally to kill Superman, to be stronger, to be more powerful than Superman. And man, has he shown that over the years. He might have even shown that he's more powerful than Superman's ultimate villain, Darkseid. He fought against Darkseid, overpowered Darkseid, beat Darkseid all up, just trashed the guy and left him for dead. Like literally on the verge of death, where he could barely stand, and Superman had to step in and save the guy's life. That's how bad Doomsday beat Darkseid, the Lord of Apocalypse, the guy who's beat Superman with just 2 punches before. Yeah, Doomsday is no joke. But also, I would really take Doomsday legitimately beating Darkseid with a big hunk of salt. That doesn't seem right at all. Basically though, Doomsday has done a lot of impressive stuff. There was even a time where he plowed through many different versions of Gog, who were able to fight against members of the Justice Society and defeat Kingdom Come Superman. And he's torn through countless different Empirix probes, where just one probe was enough to give Superman a run for his money. And Doomsday is really just as tough too. He's taken attacks from Wonder Woman, from Martian Manhunter, from a lot of Kryptonians, from Superman himself. He's taken punches from Superman before, where Clark said he was hitting him with everything he's got. He's taken thousands of punches from Superman all in an instant. He's been sent flying around and landing all over the place by Superman on just a semi-regular basis, and Doomsday just consistently refuses to go down. He's also taken Superman's heat vision, blast from Green Lantern, Orion's energy beams. A Guardian of the Universe went full-on kamikaze on him, and it just barely put Doomsday out. He came back a little while later. Even Darkseid's Omega beams were enough to put Doomsday down for like maybe a few seconds. He was back up almost instantly. And of course, here's the real kicker. Doomsday quite literally cannot be killed. He can't be permanently put down. He's always going to keep on coming back. No matter what you throw at him, no matter what you send his way, you can even straight up kill him. Doomsday is still going to keep on coming back. Doomsday has literally evolved past death. SCP-682 is a large reptile creature of unknown origin. It appears to be extremely intelligent and has a hatred of all human life, due to both viewing them as cockroaches, as well as having been tortured by them for decades. Because of this, it will try and kill most people on sight. So before we get into talking about 682, it might be important to give a little bit of context for the SCP Foundation. The Foundation is basically like a bigger and better Men in Black, tasked with capturing and studying different paranormal and supernatural phenomena, all while keeping their existence hidden to the outside world. Pretty simple. Where it gets a bit complicated is that the SCP is all based on the SCP Wiki page, which is a community writing project. It's awesome and such a cool, creative story, but it also means that there are tons of different canons and interpretations of different characters, and a lot of them conflict with each other, mostly because anybody can write for the site. So it's just safe to say we're doing a composite version of SCP-682 and just trying to find the most consistent version of the character across all the different canons. Okay, now let's get into it. The origins of the entity known as 682 are shrouded in mystery. Some say it's the survivor of a catastrophic world-ending event. Others say that it's the child of the Scarlet King. Maybe it's the serpent from the garden that offered humanity the forbidden fruit of knowledge. Maybe it's a god itself, the very concept of hate. Maybe none of this is true. Maybe all of it is. It was found by the SCP Foundation after murdering a group of farmers, but it seems to have existed for all of human history, inspiring humanity's fear of snakes and dragons. 682 hates all life, and so it goes out of its way to kill everyone it can, constantly escaping from the SCP and attacking everything in its path. Because of that, the SCP Foundation has made it their mission to destroy the creature, but they've had no success whatsoever. No matter what they throw at it, 682 always manages to survive, adapting to each and every threat. And when the SCP Foundation says that something is hard to kill, well, they really, truly mean it. 682 is completely immortal, and his immortality is broken beyond belief. It's believed to be the child of the Scarlet King and the Fourth Bride, which probably explains its immortality. And 682 has been able to survive having 100% of its body being destroyed, regenerated back from just a single cell. It's even survived being erased by an absolute void and existing in a non-existent state before regenerating and coming back. And 682's own personal timeline and history were completely erased, wiping it out of all existence. And 682 was back just a few seconds later. Yeah, it's literally impossible to kill or destroy. And a big part of why 682 is so dang hard to kill is its adaptability. It can adapt to any threat in an instant and adapt in a way where it can instantly overcome it. 682 can match any power used against it, meaning that its own power will increase based on the damage that's done against it. And it's not just pure physical force that it can adapt to. 682 has been able to adapt to and overcome mind control, molecular decomposition, soul manipulation, reality warping, complete erasure, even being removed by the SCP authors. And while it is true that 682 will lose past adaptations as time goes on, this also isn't necessarily the case, because we've seen before that it can instantly regain any past adaptations that it needs in an instant. And then lastly, we need to talk about SCP-682-0A, the true reason why SCP-682 is so hard to destroy. 682-0A is the source behind SCP-682 and is basically a higher dimensional being that exists above even thoughts and concepts, so that even the concepts of hatred or adaptiveness actually exist still inside 682-0A. And then 682 is the physical embodiment of 682-0A, manifesting itself in reality as a way to interact with physical reality, basically making it a platonic concept manifesting in reality, which is why it's able to survive everything and adapt to everything. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, this is basically two unkillable monsters going at it, which basically leads to this fight just being who can adapt better and who is actually truly unkillable. That's what we're looking for here. That being said, no doubt about it, Doomsday is starting out this fight as the more powerful monster. This is a guy who's on par with Superman and the Justice League. Scaling it in DC Comics is crazy. Of course he's more powerful. I mean, just look at his fights against Superman. And Superman is totally a broken character. He's shattered timelines and broken the boundaries of space-time during some of his fights. He's actually even said that concepts like weight or even space-time have lost all their meaning to him. He's pushed apart whole realities before. He shook the whole Phantom Zone, an infinite, limitless, and endless universe, and even said that he could destroy it altogether. This is the guy that Doomsday is able to fight against and beat. And it's not just Superman. He's also beaten Darkseid before in a fight. Although that was probably an avatar of Darkseid and not the multi-dimensional true form of Darkseid. And Doomsday's even punched his way out of the Phantom Zone, which is just totally broken because the Phantom Zone is a dimension without dimensions and can exist in several different layers of reality. And Doomsday just punched his way out of it. Absolutely crazy. He's also going to start off way tougher and way faster too. He's not just able to survive attacks from Superman and the whole Justice League, but Doomsday was able to survive a blast from a Guardian of the Universe that ripped a hole in the very fabric of space-time. He's also consistently proven that he's fast enough to tag both Superman and Wonder Woman in fights before, even speed blitzing the whole Justice League. But here's the problem. SCP-682's adaptability is absolutely broken, and it'll be able to pretty much instantly scale to Doomsday as soon as the fight starts. It can scale to the same power level that's used against it. So as soon as Doomsday starts throwing punches, well now 682 is on the same level as Doomsday. We've definitely seen this before too. Exposed to enough power, well, 682 has grown large enough to reach the same size as the planet Saturn and 8 countless different planets across the universe. And it didn't stop there either. 682 ended up stretching across the entire universe and devoured whole galaxies. 682 is also adapted to the point where it could fight against Able, and Able is powerful enough to destroy entire universes. So yeah, expose it to Doomsday, and there's no doubt in my mind that 682 will quickly grow just as powerful as Doomsday. Especially factoring in that 682 can literally adapt at the speed of light. And if you don't buy that, if you say that Doomsday is so freaking powerful that there's no way the big lizard will be able to instantly scale to it, well, let me show you another way that that might happen. The Doomsday virus. Now basically what this is Doomsday gained a new power where he started putting this virus out into the air and it killed everyone instantly. And if it didn't kill you, well then it took over your mind and transformed you into a Doomsday monster too, complete with all the powers and abilities of Doomsday. The problem with that here is again 682's adaptability. Because while the Doomsday virus could take over 682, the monster just proven way too many times to be able to overcome different diseases and mind control, even on a universal level, that I can't say that the virus would have any negative effects on 682. So it would gain all the power and ability of Doomsday, but none of the downsides of losing its mind in the process. Sure, Doomsday can adapt and grow throughout the fight, no doubt about that. But 682 is just so much faster with it. His adaptability is so much more powerful and versatile that it's still a massive advantage for the big lizard. So the next thing is just which one is more unkillable and has better regeneration. Now, Doomsday's regeneration is obviously insanely broken. He's consistently been able to survive the unsurvivable, and anything that does kill him, well, he'll eventually just come back to life and come back even stronger than before. He can come back from scraps of DNA and come back to life almost instantly. But still, Doomsday is nothing compared to 682 here. I mean, 682 can regenerate from literal nothingness. It can be entirely erased from timelines and come back moments later. No physical power is enough to kill it because it'll instantly come back. 682 will continue to exist as long as it's perceived to exist, or the very thought of it exists. And that even counts towards 682 remembering itself. It's happened before where 682 was completely wiped out. It still managed to remember itself, and it still instantly came back. And again, all this happens in an instant, while Doomsday sometimes needs time to heal and come back to life, sometimes years or decades. There's even been times before where Doomsday's been killed, like dead. Like when Empirix officially killed Doomsday and wiped him out, or when Superman brought Doomsday to the end of all time and Entropy officially wiped Doomsday out. There's really nothing like that for 682 here. Doomsday just has absolutely no way to kill 682, while 682 can kill Doomsday. I mean, for starters, they could theoretically just fight for forever, fighting until the end of the universe to where Doomsday dies from entropy and 682 just keeps on existing. 682 could also theoretically absorb Doomsday and kill him that way, considering that 682 has taken other members of its species in fights and absorbed them as a way to kill them. Then you can always get into the fact that 682 is like super meta, and it can beat Doomsday that way too. Like anytime 682 exists in a story, which would theoretically include 682 fighting Doomsday, well, 682 then has control over that story, and 682 has taken this ability to control stories to kill 95% of all SCPs in existence and wipe out 70% of the Omniverse and fight against multiversal beings like the Scarlet King. So that's crazy, and could definitely help 682 just completely wipe out Doomsday. Speaking of wiping out Doomsday, well, 682 could just completely erase Doomsday as a very narrative concept and take him out that way. Basically, SCP-682 is one of the most broken characters in all of fiction. The Big Lizard goes crazy, and for as powerful as Doomsday is, there's just no way the big monster stands much of a chance here. SCP-682 wins, and it's not even close. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're gonna see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.